Hello, everybody. It's your Mage of Mishaps, Chartreuse Proxy, ever at your service. And today, may I interest you in a little bit of theater as we go through my 3 years together. May not believe it, but this is exactly how I started, all those years ago. Bad internet, as you can tell by my model already lagging behind a little bit. No colors to my name, just this nice little model with pure white hair and pure, well, more kind of like brown. I say brownish, I kind of like grayish, blackish eyes. And really, nothing else. I got this model back on a nice software, not nice software, but on a nice platform called Nazima for $5. I started with that, and I started with a very early beta of VTube Studio back then. Back when Denshi was still posting his stuff out on the Discord, and it was still only, I think, not on itch, but on its own documentation page. Very early beta. I had just gotten an iPhone 10 to record, to now start using it for its face tracking, and really just downloaded OBS Studio. $5 was all that this model was. OBS is free. The VTube Studio branch beta was free back then. And that was really just all that I began with. Easy before the factory painting. Well, I guess that's one way to put it. It was a very weird time. I didn't have any assets. I didn't necessarily have anything besides just, what I looked like here and a name. And then I started trying to think about how I could really branch out my content. Or really how to start with my content and everything like that, So, it immediately came to thinking about what I could do for making this model unique. This model was made by one Yamio Sakura-san. She was leaving this model up for $5. I think it was like the best selling per the month back then. And quite frankly, it was nice to see the terms and conditions of you can use it for streaming, and you can edit it however you like. So, lo and behold, after some time then, I did decide to start editing this model. I chose my favorite color, which was yellow, and, well, I started dabbling a little bit in what I could do to change it, make it more of my own. And so, before you knew it, a little bit more of a change was made. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of green. And this was exactly how I started my roots. After a fresh coat of dye in both my hair and a little bit of magic in my eyes, this nice little $5 full body was mine. I first thought to get into the VTubing boom during COVID, when Hololive came out, or when Hololive really had its biggest boom, in 2020. And I just thought, I'm already playing video games enough, why not start streaming it, yeah? So that's exactly what I did. I opened up a new YouTube channel, and I did 2 test streams all the way back then. I did a Fire Emblem Blazing Blade just because I thought my GBA emulator still had it from my school days. I might as well test out my settings there. And now it's just a test stream which I enlisted soon after. My first official stream was none other than Hurt Serve Delicious. And you can see by the descriptions of my own live streams right back then, because I used to stream on YouTube, exactly so. Hello, I'm Chartreuse Proxy, a new VTuber now making videos for fun, and still learning the ropes with online content. And then I started to, after that little soft debut, I started to try to see what I could branch myself out to as a character. Hello, I'm Chartreuse Proxy, a new VTuber now making videos for fun. I'm an adventuring mage that's still going to learn a lot about this world. Man, were those weird times back then. TSD still has their soul to this day. It's had a grip on my life. Quite frankly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Back then, this was really all that I had to myself. Just these nice little colors. I didn't have anything too special, and I really didn't think about it too much. I really just put myself in smack dab corner of a game screen and just hit plug and play. It was just as awkward as you can imagine. It was just the game audio, myself, and nothing else in between. There's no just chatting. There is necessarily no overlays or panels or anything like that. It was just exactly as you see it right now. Just a weird void whenever it was in between. If I went away for intermission, I'd just, kind of die model-wise. And then I'd just snap right on back. But I guess all of us started that way. I mean, I didn't even start with an official real debut. I just had that, you can see, debut stream, I'm saying in air quotes. And then really just kind of was like, hey, I'm streaming now. Didn't have any big celebration, didn't have anything too much. That's just exactly how things started back then. But eventually, about 2 or 3 months in, I thought to myself, as much as I did just go on YouTube to start, just because all my friends were there, because that's where Hololive was streaming, all my friends were more, or the friends that I was making were more on the Twitch side of things. So then I thought more about branding, and what more I could do to really let myself grow. And so, we got things like my old opening here. This old little opening. And that is the wrong button. I did not mean to click that button there. Haha! As you can see, this little stream starting soon had the very first renditions of my pixel art back then, and also the 3D model of what I had back then as well, of Yamio Sakura-san's. So we started developing on that, started seeing, what more we could process with it. I say what me and my friends could process with, creating my character, enough, and it led to this humble little screen here. Hello all, this was Chartreuse Proxy about 3 to 4 months into my VTubing career. I had myself just these little 2 panels, subscriber and follower, just because I thought to myself, I'm probably not gonna get any donations anytime soon, right? So I just thought to have these 2. Had a huge chatbots, and funny enough, had this huge square for gaming, which was an entirely wrong aspect ratio because it was a square and not a rectangle. So nothing ever fit inside here correctly at all. It was at that time too that whenever I had anything in the background, if I wanted to launch more, I bought Monster Cat Gold for a subscription of $15 a month or whatever it was. So I could get DMCA free music and have something a little bit more in the background, whenever these streams happened. It was a wild, wild west of times. Back then, this was really what I did I say survive, but this is what I really did back then for content. I just had this one screen. I had my little intro screen. I just had this one stream, and nothing else really to my name. These were all just my own renditions of screens. So the background was my own. The little overlays, like the stars, the little star and follower, the little sparkle on subscriber. I just did that on myself as art assets. As you can see here now, this is when I first got my little hairpins that I've based off of my siblings. So there's me as yellow, my big sister Grant as green, and then the silver is my big bro Centurio. This is when I really started with that back then. Getting that as kind of like my Oishi art, the 3 sparkles. And I always wanted to honor them exactly for that reason. Going off of that as well, she's trapped them inside the pins and they've never been seen since. Yeah, no, that ain't it at all. That ain't it at all, Calvin. Yeah, I made this little overlay myself, even it was, not correct aspect ratio, but I didn't know any better back then. Did that, and did my first set of panels. All in, Microsoft Paint. I think I used a free Streamlabs or like bottom panel creator back then. And you can see, these were done by mouse. These little cute drawings I did by my mouse back then. It's real sweet. It's real cool. It's real nostalgic, I can say now. That's one thing I've always done by my own hand. My panels, quite literally so. I'm just very happy about it. But of course, after all this time or so, this is 3-4 months in, I started thinking about, the one thing I don't enjoy the most about this model is the fact that I don't have commercial rights. I want to be able to make my own merch underneath my own name and everything soon enough, and while this was good for VTubing, it wasn't good for, you know, making your own merchandise. So that was something that I needed to start working on in the future. But until then, I could at least start expanding my branding more. So we got things such as my old intermission screen, which I did by hand again. No drawing pad, no nothing like that. Just a good old plain intermission screen that just had my old gaming chair, my keyboard with, you know, red keys. Was a CyberPower keyboard that I've upgraded to, well, another CyberPower, and my old dorm mouse from my college days, funny enough. So that's real cute to see. That's honestly real darn cute to see. There was that, and there was also my old technical difficulty screen. Stuff, lack of mana points, internet being bad, Twitch chat bullying me, and of course, because it's strict serve delicious, bean burgers. Bean burgers being a problem. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh, everybody? The more things change, the more they stay the same. But that was maybe about a good 3 to 4 months, or 3 to 4 months to about 6 to 7 months in to Chartreuse Proxy. That era ended with this little stream ending, with me walking away in good contrast to the opening here, as you can clearly see. Bean burgers, ever a cruisy classic. It have never escaped the allegations. But we really started branching out from here then into what would be my 6 months to 1 year setup that I had. Because if anybody does remember seeing it back then, this was just the most that I had, and we entered the new era of Chartreuse Proxy. By that I mean, you know, half a year in. Nothing too much, but I finally did get this nice little overlay backdrop here. And I commissioned my own sets of music from one Evervision Impulse, otherwise known as Autumn Vale. Autumn is a wonderful old friend of mine who's been away I say been away for a while. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him much because of what's-his-face. Because of college time taking them away. I got to commission 3 tracks from them around this time in my VTube journey, which includes my, I guess, theme song that's playing right now called The Will of the Wind, made for exactly when I had that opening screen up, and whenever I was just kind of like chatting on with people. Firefly, we'll get to those bean burgers in a bit. Rather, well, I guess I can put it up now, huh? Alright, let me go into my assets, just because you had to interrupt good story time to redeem that for me. I should have disabled redeems up until I actually included them into my stream. Ha! I'll be honest with you, Chief, it's actually been so long, I'm digging through all my files and I have no idea where those bean burgers would be, or where the PNG of the burger would be. So you actually might have to wait until modern day Cruzy to redeem that. Ha! But yeah. Sorry, I just had to drink some water there. This is where I finally got to chat with a new chatbot, as you can see here, new font, a free-to-use PNG background back then, and, eventually enough, what then became my secondary overlay! Look at that! Wow! What an upgrade! You believe that? From 1 to 2. This is a Substantial upgrade, everybody, don't you think? It's not blaringly yellow, bland mustard yellow on your retinas, on the old overlay. It's a little bit more greenish. We've got little elements that show that I'm a mage. For once in my life, I am a mage, everybody. It has the donator icon, which never really got filled throughout that 6-month to 1 year period. Funny enough. But I had that. I had a little bit more of, like I said, the magic there, which, is real darn nice to actually be able to say, hey, I'm a mage. A Cruz Ship Wind Mage after each. I know, I've always been a Wind Mage. You don't. But there's that. And then, of course, with this came a new round of panels! We upgraded once again, everybody. Now, I got to have a little bit more incorporation with the 3D model here. I made a little bit more fun of, like, my Wind Mage tropes and whatever, and I got to include a little bit more, like, how I have Grand in a few of these. Well, I did draw her in one of the old panels, but you can see here, she's in my Discord and sub reward panels back then. This was a really, really nice thing to see, because, quite frankly, I never expected to get this far back then. I just started VTubing on that exact whim of, I'm, like, I might as well stream if I'm playing these games, so why not keep going? And then it just kept going and going, and then I just, started spurring on, making more of these panels and everything like that, and, well, one thing after another, it eventually became to this 6 months in. At that time as well, I know I started meeting new people, so like how I was talking to one Serena Penguina, who helped me out a good amount in, learning about, branching out, meeting more people, and also in helping me organize newer things that came to mind, such as my first ever alternate outfit that I just gotta change into here, real quick. So I had my little adventuring outfit, but thanks to Serena wanting to do some art projects of her own, I was able to commission / rope her help into making this lovely little model that I have here. Same hairstyle, same everything like that, but I'm being obstructed by my own image here. But, you can see a nice little cardigan, nice little skirt, and everything like that. I have a very, feels like Velma-esque outfit altogether. But, this is my little casual outfit that I had Serena help me with. And it was real cute back then. And I got to really run away with that redeem, along with changing my hair color, with my first set of color, with my second set of color redeems, it branched out to having the rainbow and everything like that. And it was real cute, and real nice. After that, I got my second dose of commissioned music, this one called Fae Drafts, from Autumn, which exactly so then was what's his face? More of a bar scene I remember asking her for, which was for my old Just Chatting screen. And hi, Aoi. And yeah, you never get to see this old outfit anymore now. But this was... Oh, hello, VTube Studio. You don't need to be here. But this was, that's a good 6-7 months in back then. I remember I wanted to buy myself a good Christmas present. Halfway into, almost getting to that 8-9 months in or so. So then, after I got Serena help me with this, which I had to be her test dummy, and I really didn't have to do too much more on my end, which I have to eternally thank her for. I then started looking at what could be another model I could possibly commission. And so, we started looking into new outfits. And I still loved, being able to use it for VTubing, editing the face and whatever stuff like that. So I got back in contact with Yamio Sakura-san, my VTube mama, for my old and new models. Sorry, just taking a sip of water. And, well, after a good bit of time, we went over to, what's his face? We then go over to, about November, December. It is a good time around, I think, like end November, early December, To where then, I said to have a great little karaoke stream filled with DMCA free songs, smile. So we get my little karaoke stage that I got from free assets pulled all together and everything like that. And we also get, I think, one of my favorite old outfits back then. My idol outfit. Take a look at this, everybody. I've got this lovely little setup right here with some of the puffiest sleeves, some of the frilliest bottoms of my dress here, and a very yellow-green color palette, everybody. All commissioned by Yamiya Sato-san. It's still amazing, it's still lovely, and I still love it very much so. I did specifically ask to keep the face, which she did wonder, because since it was the old one, I didn't want, I wouldn't waive the rights, but since I was already planning on a 1.0, I said, yeah, go ahead for now. And I got to do a few different, karaoke streams back then in this. I still hold on to it very much so, very sweetly, as this was my first commissioned big 2D model, I guess. It was all her design. She did it quite quickly, all things considered. And because of that, it was just like, it was very sweet to see, all things considered. This was my first year Christmas present to my Christmas present to myself in my first year of streaming, and it just continued to develop from there onwards, I would think. We really just had to have, I really got a good time with alternating between those 1, 2, 3 models back then. I got to have fun with, what's his face? With all my hair color redeems I had, like my rainbow ones back then, I remember too. And we also got a few other smaller models as well, such as if I go back to my, not my setup, where is my just chatting screen? Thank you, Aoi. It is so pretty. If I go over to my just chatting stream, this is also when I got one other outfit back then, which was, well, I say outfit, it's more like a completely alternate model, which was from, if I remember, I think this was Chiseko who did this back then, which was Wapa. What's his face? Kind of like stuffed chibi model that was pretty cheap back then. It had a few tolerable animations, which I don't feel like setting up right now. You can see, nice little fun chibi thing that I just got on my way over. But this is now marking about 10, 11 months into my VTube journey or so. So I had that. I had that model. I'm just going to swap back to the idol because I just want to show that off a little bit more, I feel. Where's the redeem for that? It's my old model, so I don't have it anymore, Calvin. But we had that back then. We, of course, had, my idol back then, which actually, let me get one of my rainbow hair redeems for that, possibly. Let me get my rainbow idol, because I think that's got to be one of my favorite blend projects that I have ever done in all of my time. Because during all those streams, I also did love changing my hair color to be exactly matching how, like, kind of the vibe or the theme or, like, the character that, like, sang the song back then and whatever. And, well, I went all out with that back then, including my eyes, too, for instance. And this was, tiding me over up until I really thought to myself, I want to have my own full 2.0 new model and official debut stream, since I never had one to myself back then. And because of that, I really started talking with some of the friends that I had met back then, including Shadow, who was one of the first people I think I really reached out to collab with back then. And also, that's when I played Epic Battle Fantasy, one of my favorite childhood series, and got back into contact with an old friend by the name of Ferna, who's a composer, and a new one, which was Lanny. We started talking about then us three really started hammering home together a good friendship and ideas for what my 2.0 model could be. And then, before you know it, we then started developing a very, very I say intrinsic, a very, very labored love set full of like tens of 20 or 30s rough drafts up until we finally got to a point where I was satisfied and I sent in a request with Yamiya Sakura-san. And, well, before you know it, we eventually got to basically modern day, everybody. I got my new stinger transition. I got my new stream starting. And then, of course, I got new commissioned art, as this was a 2.0 for me, and also for my siblings. I got them new models too, to upgrade with the times, and, well, it wasn't very long up until, you know, we ended up where we are today, don't you think? Back to this. My current iteration of myself. My new logo, nice and shiny. My new model and everything that everybody's used to by now. Sorry, just had to take a drink of water. And, of course, we had a few extra things to go off of, such as the founding of Gale Force back then. Because when I made Gale Force, it was off of a joke with the original group of friends of 5 people. That was me, Shadow, Flanny, we had Iri back then, and we also had Kaito, where we joked about having an esports team, you know, making our own jerseys and merch. And so I made the stupid mock-up of kind of like, you know, like, of this year, when I debuted my new model and everything like that. I made this as if it was like kind of like a roster signing to like a sports organization. Welcoming Chartreuse Proxy to this free Gale Force logo I found on Adobe Art, I think, back then. And well, this was the start of, I guess, like the new modern era. 1 year going past for Chartreuse Proxy. I made this new just chatting screen of me and the clouds, quite literally so. Well, it ain't anything too special now, I guess, considering it's just more free assets, but hey, I made it myself. We went to my current gaming overlay that I've had. And of course, as we always know, first and foremost, Firefly, there's your burger asset. If I quit my folders, wow, that's like 7 folders in deep to my planning stuff. Yeah, congratulations, there's your burger. You happy now? We had that. I had my pixel art updated as well. And also, I had, well, you know I'm voting up to it. I had myself my new set of panels. Because of course I'm updating these panels. So take a look at that back then. Ooh, and thank you for the 3-bit sign. I made these new panels with the new 3D models I commissioned for me and my siblings. And did a little bit more independent art assets. As in making those clouds, making the little wind effect, whatever, stuff like that. And just branching out a little bit more. Including adding the sources to all my artist references and everything like that. And it just went on from there. And it's just, I think, because I've always done the panels by myself, this has been like my biggest guilty pleasure of being able to see the visible, tangible upgrade that I've gone through. Just look at this. We had my first overlay ever with MS Paint panels and a square gaming overlay, which does not even go, confide with rectangle aspect ratios of 99.9% of games. We went to this setup here, where things got a little bit better in the aspect ratio size of things, but not as much. But I included a little bit more, such as my actual follower, subscriber, donator stuff, until I started feeling like I don't like the clutter on my screen, the visual clutter. Let's not do that. And then into where we are now, to where, of course, you can see it is nice and light blue on the background and everything like that. I have my newest set of panels that showcase exactly how cute I am in 3D. And, well, things just continued branching on from there. Of course, I did get to do teaser images and everything like that. So leading up to this, I think this was one of my biggest reveals. So if you want to take a look back then, I had this little lovely video showcasing the comparison between my 2D and 3D models of old. my new 3D model and 2D model of 2.0 back then. I also just realized the media source is playing. It might be loud. That might not be the best. But you can see here, my first Trickster of Delicious stream date was on the 28th back then, but my Binding Blade test stream was on the 24th. So, that's when I set the anniversary to be. Technically. I say technically, but in reality, it's the 24th now. I had that back then, and well, first and foremost, don't accuse me of false advertising, everybody. That is the truth of it, and I have my... I can really Windows snipping tool that to prove it. But also, that was like the first big upgrade for me overall. And I think it really did well for my confidence, for my... for how I felt as a VTuber, and it just kind of spiraled onwards from there. I started making a lot more friends, a lot more connections. I got to do more fun stuff whenever it came to, like, providing my new technical difficulty stream, which coupled with the last of my commission pieces from Autumn, which was Windbreaker. The current track playing right now. Very lighthearted, fun, and also really showcasing, oops, yeah, stuff happened. Let's not talk about it here, right? I also got my very inspired intermission stream, which I made after playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses, complete with the running pixel sprites, which I opened commissions for back then. And even a few loading tooltips, if you wanted to put it that way, for when it came to learning about me as a streamer whenever I was maybe away getting some water or something like that. It was a real wonderful and cute time. And I, like, looking back on it, especially looking back at all the old files, it is still some of the best thing to just see how much I've evolved over this time. Because, right, you remember, if you want to think back, this was my old intermission stream. MS Paint with a mouse and keyboard. Not even a drawing tablet. Then I got to meet this. We had my old stuff screen, which was just MS Paint once again. And then we got to this, which is now, you know, my very, very nicely detailed 3D models of not just me, but my siblings as well, plus a little bit more technical prowess, I guess. And then, of course, my old opening screen compared to the newest one. My old closing screen compared to, well, my current newest one. I've evolved so much over all this time, everybody. And it's real sweet to just get to think about how much, you know, how much fun I've had through all of this, how much I've grown, and, well, from 1 year, 2 years to 3 years now, I've changed. Around that 2-year spectrum or so is when I really started digging into wanting to do a lot more on the community side of things with making a official, unofficial group. So that was when, on June 19, I think we officially made Guild Force more of a group in name rather than just a running joke. So although I made this banner as kind of like a gag to myself, that's when we started looking around to commission artists. So, thanks to Franny's help, we finally got Guild Force's official logo back then, made by Celeste, the same and official Guild Force artist who made my current logo. It's pretty obvious once you put them together, as you can see, to make that official for us. We had that one. We had the shortened, you know, Guild Force, GF, which I use more often than not in my streams like that. And the server came live to where it is today. It's also when I started looking around and commissioning more artwork. So like back when this model was first made back then, that's when I commissioned PR to make my official character sheet with all my references and everything like that back on release, which I am very, very still happy about. Probably one of my favorite commissioned pieces of art back then. And this was also when Flanny and I got to talking a little bit more around this span of time in terms of wanting to, in terms of our relationship with each other. And quite frankly, I'm gonna just let the video I prepared play out and showcase exactly how we've evolved over all this time. Ah, first and foremost, thank you, VTube Studio, for not clicking in on that time. But that was when I really got to celebrate one of my favorite milestones back then, which was my 2 year anniversary with, well, no, I'm going on 2 years this year. My 1 year anniversary with Franny back then. She helped steady me throughout all of this time. We got to get our matching models together. We got to do so much whenever it came to planning these surprises out in Gale Force being a more official thing, as her with me as founder, her as manager, with us recruiting members together. So as you know, we started with that original 5, and now we branched off into a total of 13 current members. Which, funny enough, if I think about it back then, I think like we really just actually started coming to making the idea when we only got our models, like, you know, kind of like solidified back then. So when Forney and I got our model references, it was really just kind of like, all right, it's go time. Let's put this idea to the grindstone and make this official. So I don't remember exactly when we had the idea, but we actually did announce everything out back on June 19 of, you know, last 2 years ago. And it was a real sweet thing to just see everybody just come together. You know, get to be, you know, get all of this, and, you know, get all of this, you know, what am I trying to say here? Get to be together and get all of this camaraderie, friendship, and family that I wouldn't have otherwise online. And it's just real sweet. And hey, Broken. Kind of struggling for words here because I'm kind of like overwhelmed in my own emotions and thoughts. That's how I've been going for the past 2 years, devoting myself more into my little content, into my little corner of the world here, and starting to branch out more into what else interests me as a VTuber. Whether it be making, you know, like, doing more of, you know, like, streaming either with like friends or my own content, such as like with video editing and whatever stuff like that. There's also the different things that have come to whenever it's recruiting members, branching out into new games, or also like doing a lot more pixel sprites, such as if everybody remembers my huge comm streams back then. Because, holy crap, I got to do a lot of pixel art throughout these years. A lot of them on my own volition, a good amount of them for D&D, lots of them for Gale Force, of course, and also just lots on my lots just because I could, of my friends, of my family, or also for my re-debuts, such as how you can see smack dab in the middle. There is me in both my 1.0 and my 2.0. it was that. I started, figuring out my comfort level with also animating different things, be it like you can see at the bottom there, Yuki and Yuna from Duo Leveling. You can see Z running in on the side and experimenting with more effects, such as, like moving winds, fires, everything such like that or so. It all really came to a fault back then with how much I really got to express myself and make more of a career off of this, known more for just not just my own, budding personality as a streamer, but also for the art that I provide, the services that I had as both a entertainer and an artist, and really just putting myself out there. It's also when I really started to dig back into my cosplay roots after reconnecting with a few other friends like Zoe. If you're back here, Zoe, after COVID, when we really started to talk again during the Momocon days, I started to do more cosplay. I started to let that side show on my Twitter, and that helped really boost myself and my signal boost myself out there, and things all just came to. You want to come something from me to be honest at some point? Well, I know that I'm close at the moment, but we'll see how things come to for that. I know I want to experiment more with new pixel art styles, but life's busy, so I'm gonna see where I can get to. Besides, there's been a lot of preparation for this, don't you think? So, with that, I think I'm gonna close the chapter on where we currently are in Chartreuse Proxy, and we are going to move into the new segment of the world, don't you think? So, with that, I will move us to this stream ending, and I will, once again, I still love the little dichotomy here. I know that this was a Fiverr commission that that Flanny helped me get for me and my siblings with the cruise ship itself. Maybe I should get this updated someday to be moving and everything like that. But what I will say is that for me, I found what I want to do more in my third year of Chartreuse Proxy, and that is devoting myself more to my friends and all that we do. So, with that, I'm going to go into intermission for for 5-10 minutes or so, prepare my next segment, but until then, I want you all to enjoy this nice new little teaser that I've got. By that, I mean my new intermission screen. I might give away a little bit as to what this theme is. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to year 3 of Chartreuse Proxy. As you can see, my intermission stream is fully updated, as well as my just chatting stream, now in full Gale Force colors. My outreach has gone from, well, you can see here, the nice blue skies to quite literally the space above. This has been the biggest lead up to one of the softest re-debuts ever. Huh? Yeah, clickbaited by a business student, nerds. But welcome to what I want to consider my year 3 renaissance of Chartreuse Proxy. My full focus this time around is now onto managing, doing a little bit more of Gale Force work, and really expanding out the reach that we have, not only me as founder, but also us as a group itself. I really want to be able to showcase to everybody what we are, as, you know, we're at our highest peak now at 13 members, and also really just get to bond more as a community, either through our official members, our artists, and also through our friends. Alongside with that as well, I of course have different new additions as to go off of that, such as if I open things up right over here. Give me 1 second on this. Gotta make sure that things are working here. My new gaming overlay, which also should function the exact same way. A little bit more of a dash of paint, but a lot more color to go with it, as you can clearly see. And also, once again, guess what? If you look down, underneath your seats, smile, I have a new set of panels. We are back at it again with the panels, everybody. I can't believe I got away with it. Not for the first, second, but third year in a row, everybody. These upgrades keep churning out, and I cannot exaggerate how pleasantly surprised I am with everything here. If you want a full list, I guess, patch notes of what I've done this time around, which I'm going to be rocking for, you know, the future onwards, of course. Compared to my old gaming overlay, the chat box was smaller and it was a little bit more grayscale. This time I've upgraded it so that way it's a little bit lower to make the logo bigger for me. I've purposely made myself a little bit more taller in the screen here, as you can see, and of course just like the way that the actual colors blend all together, with my old blue being for me, but now this nice, you know, blue to purple palette, almost reminiscent of the Gale Force colors themselves. That, and also the panels that you can see. They're just a little bit more of a soft remix, but this time with new art, as you can see all together, as done by the wonderful Goddess of Fortuna, or Anhi for short. I've used the artwork that I commissioned back then for her from my support conversations, and now I'm using it in this context. And well, as you also saw as well with this intermission screen, I'm also utilizing the Gale Force colors, along with a whole new slew of running animations that I have, featuring me and more of my members in Gale Force, for instance, or me and more of my friends that I've made throughout the years here. It's a lot of small quality of life upgrades that I've been making to my stream now, and I think I wouldn't say I've outdone myself, but I have given myself a nice guilty pleasure present, which I am very happy to showcase to you all here. My full, I guess, like, New Year's resolution as a streamer is going to be all about doing what I can for supporting my friends in this context here. Be it through Gale Force means, be it through promoting them through my other types of streams, be it, you know, more Gale Force community nights, which I want to make more of a habit, or just, you know, getting the word out here. If I can get myself, you know, more on a platform of Twitter, oh, my bad, on X now, then maybe... Wow, what timing for this, amazing, 3-year anniversary, huh? When Twitter becomes X. To really try to get myself out there. To really, you know, like, promote not just me, but everybody that I know and love. Quite frankly, this is just, you know, the tip of the iceberg of what I want to do. Because there still is, you know, one thing that I've been leading up to for the entirety of this stream, which you'll have to give me 2 minutes to get out. Oh, Let me first change my screen back to just chatting for a second here, everybody. Because the main thing that I really want to put out here for everybody is the fact that through these 3 years, I want to go back to the very basics with where it all began. Thanks to the boom of Hololive back then and everything like that, all that I really wanted to do was just, entertain and make at least one person happy. I thought, hey, if I'm playing video games, I'm having a good time already, but if somebody else is watching and can, find pleasure in watching me play, or find entertainment in interacting with me in whatever I do, then that's good enough for me. And quite frankly, have I found myself in a very fulfilling hobby that I still enjoy all these years later? Very much so. Have I made a lot of friends, which I never would have otherwise, if not for this hobby? Very much so. Would I do it all again if it meant starting from ground zero and maybe changing a decision or two along the way? No, not really. I feel like with how I've grown throughout these 3 years, from my humblest beginnings of a old stream starting with no stinger transitions or so, from a old setup with, very minimal MS Paint panels, to having to draw my intermission streams myself with MS Paint and no drawing tablet because I couldn't afford it back then, and also because I thought that if I could do it all on my own, then I'm getting a point out there that that anybody can start from where I did with just $5, a computer that can run OBS to a frame rate and to a bit rate of 2000, which is I think where I'm still streaming to today with my setup. Then, well, anybody can have fun with this, nice little hobby. And look at where it's gotten me. It's gotten me through, like I said, one setup, one layer of panels, to 2 setups, 2 layers of panels, to 3 setups, 3 layers of panels, and now onwards to, okay, ironically, this is my 4th set of panels and everything like that in my 3rd year. Wow, I did not think about the rule of 3s, well, when making that little argument and wait up here, did I, Cruzy? But throughout all of this has been a life-changing journey for me to find my second family, I guess my online friends and all. It's been amazing to get to see where everybody's grown up, both with with their own journeys, and also seeing how much I've been able to impact them on my own side of things. Positively, I mean, hopefully it didn't affect anybody negatively over my 3 years. But there is just a little bit more that I want to be able to do, rather than just be like, I'm making this New Year's resolution to Gale Force. No, there's a little bit more that I want to show off. And you'll have to give me just a second here, everybody. For all 3 years now, you have known me as Chartreuse Proxy. But have you seen the Wonderful Wind Mage, the Cruz Ship Captain, Chartreuse Proxy ever at your service in real life? Well, I feel like yes you have. You've seen my cosplay pictures. But I guess for 3 years, the one big reveal I could obviously do is a face reveal. For those of you that haven't seen those cosplay pictures, and those of you that don't think I'm not cute AF in real life, Yes, I have cosplayed myself in real life, everybody. I did kind of wear myself with this together, and also I did put my corsage on wrong. But you know what? It's whatever. I just wanted to showcase things off. Also, I was in a rush, and work ran over later today, so I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to. But I hope everybody's been doing well. The main thing that I wanted to showcase was one, I love y'all. I hope you enjoy my face reveal. It isn't too much of a surprise now, let's be honest, but hey, I wanted to clickbait somebody, and this will get ya. And also, the other thing, which is the actual big reveal, is I am working on a new outfit for myself. I am working with a dedicated group of friends and artists, and eventually soon enough, we will have a 2.0 alternate outfit. It is coming on the works, but it is nowhere near done at all. We are in early production of the pipeline, so guess what? The announcement was an announcement of an announcement. You got trolled by a business student, all. But, once again, at the end of the day, the one thing I want to express my love for is how, despite me not having the immediate funds to be able to, make this project work in time for my 3-year anniversary, despite me not having as much, bravado when it comes to other streamers or so, and that's not to disparage on them, that's more to disparage on how I'm poor. And by that I mean I spent too much money on cosplay stuff, don't regret it a single bit, on convention stuff, don't regret it a single bit, but also on my own, my situation to where I'm just busy with work, life, jobs, everything like that I don't have as much time to do on this. I'm still having all my fun in my VTubing, and even if it's not ready for my anniversary, well, it is going to be ready for a new anniversary when I get to debut that outfit. As to what it is going to be, well, you may have to wait a little bit on that. I don't think I'm ready to reveal those details just yet, but I will tell you that it hopefully... well, there's no aiming due date, but with my design doc, maybe we'll look at another December. Let's not talk about this, everybody. Hopefully another December model reveal. Very cute AF IRL. Well, of course I am. I wouldn't be the Cruz Ship Captain otherwise. Oh! Crazy in the flesh. Yes, flesh trooper here. Hi, I'm literally who I am. I am who I am. But, if you want to look more, I guess I could do top to bottom on the model, of course. You can see my eyes as radiant as ever. I don't think I have all my lights on, so actually you haven't been able to see too much. But you can see, yep, very much so on the eyes here. I would have done my makeup, but I didn't have time, because when you're working retail and it's customer service and people stay an hour over, I say an hour over, they stay 30 minutes over when you're supposed to close, which means you're spending over an hour more cleaning up and doing everything, and you're on the front lines of customer service. My throat, if I didn't have these retailer cough drops, not sponsored stream by the way, would be shot for this stream. Holy crap. But that's just how it is, so it said I didn't get to do my makeup, my eyeshadow, my concealer as much, and as well, I put this on top. But it's whatever, because the rest of me looks fantabulous. Look at those legs. You want fan service, everybody? That's fan service right there. You want like a full body reveal? Well, guess what? I'll A-pose, like my model. Look at these legs. Look at these legs. Look at these boots. Look at the outfit as a whole. And this was all homemade. Well, I don't think I can homemade the wig and all, but everything else I cut, drew, sew, and unless it was something I had to buy, made it myself. This outfit has it all. Smud Crazy IRL? Well, I'm always smud, dearie. But, no, that's really the biggest thing I had to reveal here, so sorry to disappoint if you thought I'd be reviewing a nice new brand spanking 2D model. Not happening yet. Sorry if you thought I'd be reviewing a brand spanking new 3D model. Not happening yet. But those are going to be developed soon enough. As for me, though, I feel like if I had to trick baited one person, haha, joke's on you, sucker, I accomplished my goal for the evening. Crazy graduation. I'm not graduating, guys. I know I clickbaited somebody with the when I said I'm graduating back then. When I said I was graduating, ... from college, and I did that little announcement then. But I feel like that was in poor taste because it was like, oh, I'm graduating one way, and then no, I'm graduating from college, not from VTubing. Because I know for a fact I did scare a lot of people, including Flanny! Even though I told her about the practical joke, like, a week beforehand, saying, hey, I think this will be a pretty funny thing since I'm graduating from my IRL college to say I'm graduating. And then, you didn't get me to know you too well at this point? Well, not everybody knew me. I mean, listen, Flanny was fooled by it, even though I told her. What are you doing, sweetie? But, otherwise, this was a nice little wonderful trip down memory lane, everybody. From where I began, from those humble beginnings of no models, no overlays, no nothing, to where I am now. My own official artwork, my reference sheets, my own fan cosplay of myself and everything like that, even though this is very ramshackle and I only spent like 5 minutes actually putting this on. I honestly didn't expect to get it all together again. I had to boot it out of my closet. I am very happy with the state of things in my streaming career. 2 years in, and we are making things work. You told us watch years on concerts in BC. I don't remember. That was, you know, a whole 7 months ago when I graduated from college. Do I plan to graduate from VTubing anytime or graduate from life anytime, as you put it, Calvin? No. I plan to keep this cruise ship sailing for as long as possible now, y'all. So, it generally stuck with me for as long as I live and breathe. And you're gonna have to deal with it all. So that's your own fault for provoking me like this. The cruise ship is unsinkable? The cruisey sleep! And then I'm going to actually get in, like, the worst DMCA accident. That will actually demonetize all my channels. She's unsinkable, Captain! No, you are jinxing it! Yeah, like, I think the biggest thing I got to do for new models and everything was, of course, parading this around MomoCon. Me, myself, and I taking those great pictures there, and of course, getting to have fun. But when it comes to the online spectrum, I am looking at a new outfit which will reflect both in 2D and in 3D, everybody. This is going to be something that takes a little bit of a while, and maybe I'll tease things along the way, but until then, I just want you all to know you will be expecting a new level of cuteness in Chartreuse Proxy. Not that I wasn't already cute enough. I'm having way too much fun with this right now. I'm having way too much fun. But I know one thing I was possibly thinking about for the future is maybe I could open up some cosplay redeem streams where I could, instead of doing my live 2D, I could have my face cam up like this and just get to play with let's face, play games. You know, I do my maybe battle bit, or I just start face gaming like this or so for a night. Maybe I'll introduce that as redeem. Of course, I'll introduce that alternate outfit redeem for whenever it does come to, and I'll be teasing my progress along the way with everything like that, everybody. So, yeah, that's kind of the development pipeline that I have at the moment, but we'll see how things go as things progress, yeah? Now, how am I feeling energy-wise? Pretty tired after a full day at work. How am I feeling stream-wise? Pretty fulfilled. I did everything that I wanted to do. I get to walk down memory lane, which is going to only get longer and longer with every year that I do. Holy crap, I just realized if I do a year 4 memory lane, oh god, dude, I gotta introduce all the panels again and all the overlays, and this is gonna be a lesson in patience once I'm like 8 years in streaming and I gotta do this triple the length. I realize now. But you know what? At least for year 3 and counting, and I've only had to go through 4 sets of overlays, this has been pretty good, everybody. How can you get even more cute? How is this possible? Are you kidding me, darling? when you're as charismatic as me, I say as I mispronounce everything and then cover my eye as I try to straighten out the middle of my hair. Wow, that looks ugly. Let's put it back this way. There you go. Charismatic. Yeah, I'm charismatic, everybody. Just actually unalive me. Oh, just stop it right now. Just cut the feed. Cut the feed, everybody. How can stream and work without burning out? The main thing I really look at whenever it comes to how I manage my burnout, before like how I manage not burning out on either or of that spectrum, is especially having multiple things that I want to do on both ends of the spectrum, be it my job work or my creative work. Because I'm always bouncing in between what I'm doing when it comes to streaming, when it comes to cosplay, when it comes to IRL stuff, such as spending time with my dog or working out and everything like that. And I can always find a way to be productive one way or another, Owie, and that's what helps me balance things out. Just even though I, had these new overlays, these new panels, and everything that I've been preparing for all this time leading up to the 3 years, I spaced this out over a period of 3 months or so. I started this, these ideas back in May or so, and I didn't want to do it all, cosplay crunch it or so in like 3-4 nights worth. So I tried to keep things pretty lean and made sure that I had a lot of time. That way I'm never rushing myself to do 1 or 2 projects. And that's how I tried to, keep my pace going without having to, force myself into I need to work on XYZ and then burn myself out on that in that end. But yeah, at least for where my plans are for the current future, both near and far. Our future, of course, is that new model redeem and everything like that. It will be in production. I think I will resolve the tea stains along the way, but no due date set on it, but know that I do have new surprises set for y'all in the future. As for the near future, I am going to be super swamped with work during this last week of July, so even though it's Monday and I would do Treats Serve Delicious, I am very tired right now, and quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to be able to sustain my voice considering I've been just munching on cough drops this entire time, and with how I'm going to be on customer service for the good amount of this week. So because of that, after I'm done here with my last round of announcements, I think I'll go ahead and cut stream as I did everything that I wanted to do. On that note though, because I am going to be working for most of this week, no schedule set for this week of July 24th to the 31st. If I do anything, it might be Guerrilla stream or so, or I might do a Guild Force community night since I didn't get to actually have the official one that I wanted this past week. So we'll see how things work out just because my power went out back then. But otherwise, I am very happy with how things have gone, everybody. Things are all good this year, this past year, and hopefully things will be all good for this coming year. So, before I sign off, of course, I just want you all to know that I love you all, cruise mates. Thank you all for doing everything in your hearts to promote me, as small as I may be, or as big as I may be in your eyes. And as always, to everybody who's supported me through Gale Force, pre-Gale Force, after Gale Force, through my 1.0 to my 2.0 to what's going to be my 2.5. I'd say 2.5, it's just an alternate model. I'm still, 2.0 cruisy enough. Thank you so much for supporting this wonderful little mage all throughout the end. Even though I may not have grown in height, still eternally 5'2". God. Pain. I have grown so much in friends, I've grown so much in experience, I've grown so much in the memories that I've made throughout these 3 years of streaming, everybody. Quite frankly, I would not be the same person if I didn't, just on a whim, download OBS and said, I am going to hit the go live button and stream Binding Blade after buying a $5 model. It's all I started with. $5 and some resolve, and look at where it's gotten me. A whole slew of friends, a wonderful secondary found family online, quite frankly, a lot more opportunities to express myself and be creative in one or more ways, be it online or, of course, in person. And so, to that everybody, thank you all for coming to this wonderful little theater production of Chartreuse Proxy over the years. And, as always, wherever you are, wherever you may be, whether you're on Twitch, Twitter, X, YouTube, or more. It's been your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruise Ship Captain, Chartreuse Proxy, ever at your service. And have yourselves a wonderful night now, all.